impressive was the yellow water taxi going down the East River on the eastern side of Roosevelt Island. We have a number of people who wanted to say something, and one of the most important is our Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney. She represents this area, and she's also been a major supporter of this initiative. Congresswoman?
Thank you. Bravo to all. This is so important to our city, and I would say to our nation. Congratulations to Cornell. So proud of you for being selected. Congratulations to the Roosevelt Island community and Western Queens community that also worked hard and was welcoming and want to help and support this project in every way. But most of all, I want to thank our great mayor for coming forward with a really visionary, great idea, and his team. It is a tremendous investment in the future of our city and our nation. And thank you, too, for having the wisdom to choose Roosevelt Island, which is located in the district that I am honored to represent. This is a wonderful holiday gift for New York that will pay tremendous dividends for generations. Our city's diversity, culture, transit network, and historic role as a center of the world economy have always given us the ability to lead in the high-tech sector, and this new campus will be the catalyst to help us realize that potential. Just 3 weeks ago, Facebook opened up their high-tech division, or one of them, here in New York, and speaking to Mr. Serrano, I said that this new university would be supplying many of the leaders for businesses such as Facebook and Google and all the high techs, and certainly the innovation and leadership for the new companies that will be created by these young people that will be educated there. Roosevelt Island will be an outstanding site for this high-tech campus, accessible by transportation to all 5 boroughs, very close to Western Queens and Manhattan, but it's an island unto itself. It will be a beautiful campus, and it has a small town feel about it. It is perfectly situated to spin off new projects that can be incubated in the growing business district of Long Island City. And I am particularly thrilled that Cornell University was selected. I congratulate their leadership. They wanted to win, and they went out to win, and they worked very hard to win this competitive competition. They met with every elected official, all the business and community leaders in Roosevelt Island and Western Queens. They recruited a very generous donor. They created a beautiful campus that was sensitive to the beauty of New York. They protected the access to the waterfront and integrated the community into their plans. And they partnered with one of the world's great engines of the high-tech industry. If Israel is said to be the startup nation, a lot of its success is due to the entrepreneurial spirit nurtured at the Technion. The Economic Development Office projects that an applied science facility could over time spin out more than 400 new businesses across our great city, generating billions of dollars in new economic activity and creating tens of thousands of jobs. So once again, I offer my congratulations to our mayor, to Cornell, Technion, the residents of Roosevelt Island, Queens, and Manhattan, and above all, we thank you, Mayor Bloomberg. We are the center and the capital of many areas: finance, the arts, media, healthcare. Now we're going to be the center of high tech. Thank you. It is a great investment in the future of our great city. And I would say,
State Senator Jose Serrano represents Roosevelt Island in the state legislature. I'd like to say to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. This is really an exciting day, and I'd like to thank you and for your vision in bringing this together and making this happen. And many congratulations to Cornell and Technion. As some have said before me, our greatest strength as a city is our diversity. The generations we continue to attract the best and the brightest, people who want to work hard and make a new way in a very innovative way. And I think that this Applied Sciences campus goes hand in hand with that culture that we have here in the city of New York. And like many have said before, Roosevelt Island is a perfect place for this Applied Sciences campus. I feel very fortunate to represent it in the State Senate. We are the Mecca for the cultural and the arts. And I think that we should be, being that we attract so many great and talented people, also be the main area for technology, and I think this will be wonderful. Thank you.
Probably much to Helen Marshall's annoyance, Roosevelt Island is part of Manhattan, not of Queens. But the great borough president of Manhattan is very happy about it. Scott Sturman.
Well said, Mr. Mayor. First of all, Mayor Bloomberg, Bob, Steele, Seth, Pinsky, this really is a transformative moment for New York City. It's the day we really do usher in the high-tech economy. It's a time when the possibilities for young New Yorkers and people from all over the world who will come here will explore things that we can't even imagine. And I think that this facility on Roosevelt Island in the borough of Manhattan is something we should be proud of. But I also want to just recognize the last 6 or 7 years and the commitment of this city to university expansion even beyond this campus today. When you think about Columbia's expansion, Fordham University's expansion, and the NYU 2030 campus plan, we are putting our marker down. That we will continue to attract the strivers from all over the world. People who will come here and get educated and then stay here because of our wonderful culture, our wonderful diversity. We are a city on the move, and I would not want to be the mayor of Silicon Valley today, because here we come. Thank you very much.
Now, let me just point out that while this island is between Manhattan, the island of Manhattan and Queens, the transportation to this island really is unique. There is a subway stop on a subway that is a very popular one going out into Queens. There is a bridge over to Long Island City, which is one of the new hot growth areas in New York City, and there's a tram right to 2nd Avenue in Midtown. So it perhaps has and there's the possibility of water taxi as well. So it probably has as much diversity in terms of transportation as any place. Jessica Lappin has been a champion of Roosevelt Island. She's a young city councilwoman that really has worked very hard on this, and she's going to talk a little bit about what this means for the neighborhood and for our city. Jessica?
We're very happy to hear you talk about water taxi service. That's something we've been lobbying for a very long time. When I watched the presentation, I got goosebumps. And I really, it took my breath away. It is such an exciting thing for this city. And it is how we will remain the greatest city in this world. I want to thank the New Yorkers who joined our high-tech campaign to try and bring this project to Roosevelt Island. A few months ago, we launched a Facebook, Twitter, email, and old-fashioned letter writing campaign as well to EDC, and I'd like to think that that helped make a difference, and I wanted to thank everybody who participated. But Roosevelt Island is a world-class island. We have the Four Freedoms Park and FDR Memorial under construction. That's already going to bring people from all over the world to come to the island. And this partnership right there overlooking the river with the United Nations right behind, I think really symbolizes where we are as a city, where we're going as a city, where we're going in the world community, and I'm really thrilled that Roosevelt Island was selected. I look forward to working with Cornell, Technion, and the residents out there to make this the best possible campus it can be.
Thank you. I know Harold Tanner has been working me over about how great Cornell is for the last 30 plus years. Your message finally got through. I don't know what would make you happy. Today's game-changing announcement, Deputy Mayor Bob Steele and his staff really have set the stage for an incredible influx of talent, entrepreneurship, innovation, and economic activity to our city. Bob, you want to say it? Perfect.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's terrific to be here on behalf of the administration and talk for just a second. And first, let me congratulate the presidents of the two institutions. You know, their teams worked very hard and just really put the best foot forward so that when we were evaluating the different proposals, it really was quite impressive. And we think, too, just to remind you, as the mayor said, this is the first selection in this initiative of applied sciences, and stay tuned. We hope to have more to come. And I think, too, that since we've seen this partnership come together and develop, it's really become more and more clear of how much support there has been. The mayor mentioned that there were 50,000 alums in the area. Most of them called me directly, but those that didn't get through, they were good enough to send a book about this thick with 21,000 signatures, just in case you wanted some light reading on the weekends to understand how they committed they were to the project. I think really, too, though, that as people have suggested, this is really quite exciting. You know, we study the history of how do we keep our economies growing, and for 3,000 years we saw the agrarian economy, and for several hundred years we've seen the industrial age, and now we all know that we're in an information-driven economy, and basically the skills that we need for the future, we believe, will be able to be birthed, and this will serve as a crucible for those type of skills. I think really, and this is not about this year, next year, this administration, this is really 30, 50, 100 years in the future to provide a foundation for something new and exciting for New York City. Before I close, let me just say a couple of things. I think that the mayor said it, but I just want to say in front of everyone and provide testimony that the work of the staff and the EDC people, many of them who are here, and the team in City Hall that brought all this together in record time is really extraordinary, and they're the unsung heroes of getting this done. These things are complex, the documentation, the commitments, all the hard work that's been done to make sure this really does happen, and that team should be recognized, and I just wanted to do that publicly. I think, too, that Seth Pinsky in particular has been a wonderful ally. My fellow deputy mayors and Kaz Holloway in operations, Linda Gibbs in Health and Human Services, Dennis Walcott, who's here also from education, have all done great jobs to make this happen. Now, I thank them, but I also want to put a marker down that we have lots of work to do, so I'm going to thank in advance Amanda Burden, Bob Lamontry from Buildings, and also Carter Strickland, and others who are going to help us get this done. So they're on record, and they're kind of all in now, too. I think that we should stop here and just say, Mr. Mayor, it's terrific. We're proud to be part of it. Thank you very much.
The only downer for Bob and me is that his university and mine were not in the competition. They didn't win anyways, but I don't think they even entered. Bob, you may know, was chairman of the board at Duke University, one of the great universities in this country, but they didn't submit an application, nor did my alma mater that has an engineering school. They didn't either. Have to call the president and ask why. As Bob mentioned from the start, it was Seth Pinsky and his team at EDC that really have been the driving force behind this competition, and worked so incredibly hard to finalize the deal. Seth, you want to say words?
Thank you, Mayor Bloomberg, and I want to apologize for my voice. As you can imagine, this has been a busy week or two. But I wanted just to offer my congratulations to President Skorton and President Levy and their teams, and also to congratulate and thank the team at EDC and in the Mayor's office that have worked so hard to make this a reality. For the past several months, I've been referring to our Applied Sciences initiative as an Erie Canal moment for our city. And what I meant by this was that, as was the case with the canal nearly 200 years ago, this project has the potential to create competitive advantages for the city that could carry its economy and its people forward for many, many decades to come. Now, I know that sometimes at announcements such as these, they can lend themselves to hyperbolic proclamations. However, I really do believe in this case that what is being unveiled today is a project that will not only meet but has a real potential to exceed the very high standard that we've set for ourselves, becoming a true engine for economic activity for many generations to come. And I think this would be exciting in any era in American history, but this is particularly exciting in this era in American history, an era in which unfortunately too many seem to be experiencing shrinking ambitions, an era of uncharacteristic self-doubt, an era when many Americans view the future as something to be feared rather than something to be embraced. And given this, I think that we as New Yorkers should be really, really proud of what we're embarking on here today. Proud of the fact that we're not just dreaming big, but that we're building big. Proud of the fact that we're continuing to view the future as a series of untapped opportunities. And proud of the fact that in Cornell and Technion, we've found partners who not only believe in our vision, but believe in us and our potential as well. This is really a great day for our city and a great day for our country. And I look forward to more good news coming out of this partnership and our Applied Sciences initiative in the coming days and weeks ahead. So until then, best of luck and thank you to Presidents Skorton and Levy, and we look forward to many more years of success together. Thank you.
On Roosevelt Island, so it is perfectly appropriate to have the President and CEO of the Roosevelt Island Operating Corporation, Leslie Torres, here. Leslie.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
All the best.
We on Roosevelt Island are absolutely thrilled to become the home for Mayor Bloomberg's vision to expand New York's role as a center for technology and innovation. On behalf of the Roosevelt Island Operating Corporation and the state of New York, we welcome Cornell University and the Technion's new world-class applied science and engineering campus as our neighbor, and we look forward to working with them closely. Roosevelt Island has been a pioneer in advancing municipal technology from its very inception. Innovation is in the island's DNA, from our groundbreaking underground sanitation system to the recent modernization of our aerial tramway, I know the Mayor mentioned. We look forward to being a major hub for cutting-edge ideas that will continue to improve the lives of the local community as well as the global community. And we look forward to partnering with both Cornell and Technion to make this plan a reality. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our school's chancellor is here. Dennis, I don't want to put any pressure on you, but when you graduate students and then they go finish their undergraduate work and they want to go into the sciences and at one of the great graduate schools that will be around, this is the place.
You're preparing now.
Way to go. This new campus seriously will benefit a lot of industries in the city, especially our growing tech center. And I've recently helped open a number of new offices for tech companies founded in Silicon Valley, including Facebook, which is represented here today. But this afternoon, I'd like to hear from one of our homegrown tech companies, one that was started here, and to see what this new campus will mean for their business. So please welcome the founder of Tumblr, David Karp. David?
Thank you. We founded Tumblr in Lower Manhattan 4 years ago, and in just 4 years, we're now a top 20 website in the world. We are determined to be the first top 5 website headquartered in New York City. But to do that, we're going to need more brilliant engineers. And I really have to say, having 2 institutions who are responsible for, or at least partly responsible for, some of my favorite engineers who I've had the privilege of working with, we really couldn't be happier. And I have to say, I really couldn't be prouder. So thank you so much.
We'll take some questions, but one thing David said is just true. No matter who I talk to, they cannot find enough engineers anyplace, particularly in New York City. And this is where we're going to have these businesses. We have to have the engineers here. And engineering and sciences are one of those industries that grows on itself. So the more we get, the easier it will be to get the one afterwards, and we're well on our way. We'll be happy to take some questions.